Ya dualukum, 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 ya dualukum. Ya dualukum, 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 ya dualukum. Ya dualukum, 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 ya dualukum. Ya dualukum, 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 ya dualukum. Ya hakamu, ya dualukum, 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 ya dualukum. Ya dualukum, 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 ya dualukum.
Okay, peace to the family. 747 24/7 361 degrees. If you can hear me loud and clear, let me know. If you can hear me loud and clear, let me know what's going on. Kum, salutations to the primes. Peace to everybody that will be joining us now and in the future. All right. I want to say thank you to everybody that supports. We have a great build today. It's going to go hard. It's going to go hard. It's definitely very interesting. The interesting subject. Today's subject, Elon Musk. Elon Musk. Trump. And are we living in a matrix? All right. Also, the Messiah Code. Shout out to Oracle, the one and only Oracle in the building. Cool. Cool. All right. So we're about to begin the show. We're about to begin the discussion. And before I begin the discussion, I want to let y'all know that we got a new book that just came out, which is called The Cube. All right. Make sure everything is going well. All right, cool. Yeah, like I said, turn this down a little bit. Yeah. We got a new book that's dropped. It's called The Cube. I want to share a little bit of information about the cube, how this is relevant to Elon Musk, how this is also relevant to what's going on with Trump and their relationship. I'm also going to have a little bit of discussion from the pilgrimage vacation. All right, we got we got 217 in the building, the one and only neutral solar prime, brother Eddie in the building. I want to say thank you for your
Thanks for
presence.
thanks for having me.
Thank you, brother.
Bless to everyone in the live. Bless to all the families. You know, God is good.
747.
747.
All right, let's get it, bro. So like I said, before you do a little bit of reading from the book, I want to inform everyone that we have a new book that's dropped. It's called The Cube, and this is a little infomercial for the book. Shout out to brother Justin Peters. I see you in the building. Shout out to brother Anku. Peace to sister LaAnk. I see you in the building as well. Psycho All Stars. I want to say thank you for your attendance. All right. But like I said, a new book has came out. It's called The Cube.
The cube is not a myth.
Yeah.
It is the prison of your perception. We count in 12s, live in boxes, die in coffins. But inside you is a resonance.
They got me trapped up in these walls, I'm breaking out the cube. I'm plugging from the matrix, escaping out the cube. Reacting like a fractal, shattering the cube. We thinking out the box, breaking out the cube. They got me trapped up in the walls, I'm breaking out the cube. I'm plugging from the matrix, escaping out the cube. Reacting like a fractal, shattering the cube. We thinking out the box, breaking out the cube.
Inside a square, but raised by a system shaped like a cube. Everything you've been taught to believe, your name, your race, your God, was programmed inside a six-sided illusion. You can learn how to free yourself from the cube. Get the book from Amazon by Solar Prime Supreme Lazarus Lamel of the Messiah Code movement.
They got me trapped up in these walls, I'm breaking out the cube. I'm plugging from the matrix, escaping out the cube. Reacting like a fractal, shattering the cube. We thinking out the box, breaking out the cube. They got me trapped up in the walls, I'm breaking out the cube. I'm plugging from the matrix, escaping out the cube. Reacting like a fractal, shattering the cube. We thinking out the box, breaking out the cube.
All right, all right. What's up? What's up? Coom. Salutations to the primes. Peace to the family. As you see, we're moving through the galaxy right now. We're breaking out of the cube, thinking outside of the box. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to discuss the first 7 principles that each person should know when it comes to the codex. All right. These 7 principles represent how the universe was actually formed. All right. So when you think of these 7 principles, I want you to kind of remember them like 7 days. All right. Because each day has a principle that's associated with it as well. All right. So also, when you think of all of these days, I don't want you to think about them corresponding with each other, one after the other. I want you to, I want you to think about them all corresponding at the same time. All right. So I got solar, lunar neutral solar prime supreme 217. Brother, you got it.
Okay. The 7 days, the 7 rulers. Sunday means aglu, the mind. Monday means katuf, fin, as above, so below. Tuesday, astar, tar,
Istatar.
istatar.
Yes, sir.
equal meaning vibration. Wednesday, Yashulet, meaning polarity.
Correct.
Thursday, Afu, meaning the rhythm. Friday, Sadu Watatur, right?
Sabub Watathor.
Okay, meaning cause and effect. And then we have Saturday, Sawut, meaning gender. Day one, Sunday, Aglu, the mind. The shell is the mind. The universe is mental. Everything that exists is spiritual, programmed. Matter is densified, spirit's programmed.
Densified.
Oh, densified. Sorry
Yes,
about
sir.
that. Spirit is just refined experience. All is just energy. The shell, the substantial reality underlying all the outward manifestations and appearances, which we know under, over, in, and out of the universe,
Correct.
is soul. It is indefinable, but considered as a universal living mind, the ever living. Day
Let's
two.
let's stop there. Let me elaborate on that. So day one is called Aglu, the mind. All right. So when he related to it, he was talking about the substantial reality that connects everything. We start from Sunday. Sunday is really the day of the sun. No, it's the day of the mind because the sun is not really emitting light; it's emitting thought. All right. So that's why we give reference to Aglu, the day of the mind, which is Sunday, the first day. All right. Let's go.
Day two, Monday, Katuk Fin.
It's Kathukfin.
Katuk Fin,
Yes, sir.
meaning up, down, as above, so below, as within, as without. All are the shell. Everything has a correspondence connecting one plane of thought to the next. There is really no up and down. Everything moves from the station called the dot.
Correct.
All of the planes of existence are microscom and vice versa. Solar systems, societies, and life on Earth reflects the same thing on a cellular and subatomic level. You want me
That's
to continue,
correct.
or you want to?
I want to elaborate on that. Peace to
Okay.
Sister Kimberly. We got California in the building. Thank you for everybody coming in. Peace to all the all stars. Can I get a share if you care? And if you can hear me loud and clear, make sure you hear me loud and clear. There's no distortion. And just let me know if you hear us loud and clear, not just me. You hear Brother Eddie. All right. You hear him loud and clear as well. All right. So day two is called Kathokfin. Kathokfin is correspondence, as above, so below. It's also what you call Moon Day or Monday. All right. Monday is the day of correspondence. See, when the universe or when they consider God created the two great lights, all right, it wasn't the light like the moon was its own light. Like the moon has its own light, and you say, oh man, God created two great lights, the sun and the moon. No, one great light that they talked about in Genesis, they talk about the light that's within you. All right, that's the light that shines in the darkness of disparity. That's why we take on the owl. All right, that's why we take on the owl, because that is a totem or a spirit animal for our people called the walu. All right, continue. So we got Aglu as Sunday, the day of the sun, and then we got what? Moon Day, which is the day of the moon.
Yep.
All right. Keep on going, bro.
So day three, Tuesday, Astartar, right?
Istata.
Istartar, meaning vibration. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. Everything starting from the largest of matter down to the tiniest of particles are are at different degrees of vibration, movement. Every atom and molecule are vibrating at a certain motion, speed, and frequency. The combination of this energy determines the physical or substantial form of the manifestation. Even something that seems to be still, for example, a wheel, is actually in a state of motion. Its electrons are still moving around and there is even space between them. Nothing is at rest. Haruk meant.
Harukment,
Haruk
yes.
meant
Yes,
meaning
sir.
movement.
All right, so on Tuesday, we learned about Istatar. Istatar is vibration. See, vibration also deals with the planet Mars. Tuesday is connected with Mars. See, it's the vibration between the highs and lows. It's also that vibration is what they consider to be the war within. It's a war that's raging within. It's a rumbling, like a feeling that you feel maybe in your stomach, a gut feeling. But that's the vibration, all right? But that's the war. That's you tugging between forces because it's another day that comes right after that. Come on, let's go. What is it?
Day 4, Wednesday, Yashulet, mean,
Polar-
meaning polarity.
polarity. Correct.
Everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes meet.
Yes.
All truths have a great truth and a purpose. All paradox may be reconciled
Reconciled.
or reconciled. Sorry
Yes,
about
sir.
that. Yashulet, polarity. Extreme opposites are actually different degrees of the same thing. Hot and cold are in distinct entities or phenomena, but the same thing. Their only difference lies in the matter of degree.
That's correct. So now we moving on to Wednesday. So we learning the principles of the days, and we learning how to deal with each day accordingly, according to the energy. So Wednesday is the day of Mercury. Mercury deals with really a communication. All right. So when we dealing with polarity and we tapping into the realm of communication, remember this is the positive or negative. One thing is the opposite of the other thing. You thinking they opposites and what? They the same thing.
Mhm.
Like for instance, like what is cold to me may be hot to you. What may be hot to me may be cold to you in a
Mhm.
sense. All right. But they are extremes of the same thing. They meet at the same place, which is the dot. All right. So that's something that, I want people to understand when we dealing with Wednesday. We want to communicate with each part of ourselves, not just one part, what we consider to be good or what we consider to be bad. We got to be balanced on the day of Wednesday. All right. They call it hump day or something like that. But in essence, it's the day of Mercury. It's the day where you communicate with yourself. All right. You balance yourself. All right. Let's move forward.
Day 5, Thursday, Afui, right? Or
Afoy. Yes.
Afui, meaning rhythm. Everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swings manifest in everything. The metronome of life. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. Everything is manifested in a measured motion to and fro, flow and inflow.
Mm.
A swing backwards, a swing forward. For every action, there's a reaction.
All right. So peep game on this. If y'all can listen, y'all hear it. Y'all hear the idea of rhythm, and they call it the rhythm of life. But the way life moves in a rhythm,
Mhm.
it compensates for anything. Like for instance, you might be doing one thing. If you used to doing this one thing, you may get
Mhm.
it from somewhere else in order for to compensate whatever's going on with your rhythm.
Mhm.
That's what really happens. Like certain things that you go through in life are a part of your rhythm or a part of your cycle. You know what I'm saying? Of growth. You may have the same things happen over and over again. And these
Mhm.
same things that happen are a part of your rhythm. See, when it comes back to you, like the song retracting or the record being reset, you're able to know how to deal with it. All right. So now you master rhythm like a dance. You master rhythm like a dance. You're able to move with it. However, rhythm touches you, you're able to communicate with it and you're able to move with it. All right. So that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? So that's rhythm is the day of Thursday. See, Thursday deals with Jupiter. Okay. Now remember, Jupiter is our sun. It is our center. That is our sun. That's our center. You know what I'm saying? That's how we connect up with everything else, more or less as balance our whole solar system. All right. They don't know which one was created first, the sun or Jupiter, based upon the size and age and gravity span of each figure. All right. But you got to look at Jupiter as a cold fusion, and you got to look at the sun as a hot fusion. And without those two, we wouldn't have balance in our solar system. All right. And also, it passes through the zodiac of 12 years instead of what? 12 months. So that's a key aspect to this. Because remember, I gave y'all the 12-12 when I talked about the idea of the cube. I said, you know, the bars that are associated are really light and day, day and night. That's the 12 bars, that's the 12 lines associated with the cube. But the six sides that are associated with the cube represents the carbonated sail. All right. But we're going to talk about that. But Thursday deals with Jupiter and how you more or less balance everything, because Jupiter is the dot. So if you're the dot, you got to stand in the middle of everything. You got to balance yourself between the highs and the lows, the colds and the hots, and also the goods and the bads. All right, because you are the Messiah. All right, move forward.
Day 6, Friday, Sadub wa Tatur or
Sadub wa Tathor.
Sadub wa Tatur,
Tathor.
meaning cause and effect.
Correct.
Everything cause has its effect. Everything affects has its cause. Everything happens according to law. Chance is but a name for the law not recognized.
Correct.
There are many planes of causation.
Causation, yes.
But nothing escapes the law.
Correct.
There is no such thing as a chance. Chance is just a word we use when the exact cause of certain effects are not recognized or known. Everything cause has its effect. And
Correct.
understand the consequence of your action. Then you can choose what action you're going to take. You can choose what actions to take, but in so doing, you also choose the consequences that follow, cause and effect.
That's correct. So on Friday is Sadub Watathor, and Sadub Watathor deals with the idea that there is no luck. There's no such thing as, yo, good luck.
Yeah.
Nah, it ain't no good luck. Everything happens for a particular purpose, for a particular reason. And you got to ask yourself, what am I doing at this moment? Am I learning something, or I gotta learn this again? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or I have perfected this in the situation. But you're always learning something. I mean, even when you think you're at a perfect point, you'll understand that the most perfect point is to understand that you still growing. You know, when the Messiah, they asked the Messiah, who's the greatest amongst us? The Messiah, he went and put a baby in the middle of them, because he knew that the greatest aspect of oneself is releasing the identity figure. It's releasing the idea of who you think you are. You got to be born again. You got to understand that you always can become new within the spirit. All right, new within the soul, and thus you grow within your being. See, the universe is ever expanding. Why? Because it's trying to make room for you to exist, for your consciousness to explore everything. That's what it wants to do. All right, and all we got to do is embrace it
and manifest it.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Let's continue to discuss.
Day 7. Gender is in everything.
Yes.
Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Gender manifests on all planes. Gender is manifested in everything. There are polar opposites, the yin and the yang. Every person has a biological sex as a male or female physically and in body. However, psychologically, both qualities exist simultaneously and in everyone. The same
Correct.
principle can be found in other things as well. Even the brain has a left and a right hemisphere that corresponds with specific gender traits. Nothing is above the shell. That's she and L.
That's correct. So it's nothing above the shell. That's she and L. But what you understand
Mm-hmm.
or overstand, understand, solar stand that you know, it's male and female within everyone. You know what I'm saying? Like it's feminine and masculine principles within everyone,
Yeah.
within everything.
Mm.
It has a masculine and a feminine. All right. And thus that is what creation is, the essence of creation. All right, which is masculine and feminine. And embracing the qualities of the two and knowing to appreciate each of them. Not the female trying to be the male or the male trying to be the female. But what you know is that these two need each other to coexist and to balance
Yeah.
the universe. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
So if you try, or if like, excuse me, I'm not throwing any whatever's out there, but what I'm saying is that those principles are what keeps the universe in divine order.
Yeah.
The moment you try to violate those principles, the universe goes against you.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yes,
Oh, I
sir.
was about to say something. I always thought about it like this. The because I've always felt that there's both genders, right? And I've always thought about it like the male side is the strong, dominant, taking control of everything. But I think when you get to be both is when you have that feminine side and you look just like the loving, the caring, the nurturing for your family. You wouldn't be able to I don't think you'd be able to coexist if you didn't have both of those, like the feminine and the male. It would throw you off balance.
Yes, I look at it like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at male has a nurturing spirit as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the masculine spirit has a nurturing spirit in a way that it guards and protects
Yeah. Yeah. You have to, yeah,
through
to
protection.
protect. Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think even though that's a feminine aspect too, but that is a that's another type of discussion
Yeah.
because we that's a whole discussion. What is definite feminine? And then in my personal opinion, is that certain things are suited for males and certain things are more suited for females
Right.
and more suited for males. Not that it's a definite role for each. You know what I'm saying? Like let's say if a male is to lift some stuff or whatever like that, that's kind of suited for a male because his
Right.
body is built like
Yeah. His
that.
body's built to.
You know what I'm saying? A
Yeah.
woman is to give birth to something. It's suited like that because what? Nature designed her like
Hmm.
that. You can't do that.
Oh.
You try to do all types of sciences. They trying to do all types of sciences to go against nature in essence, and that's not how it rolls. So we had Thursday, which was Jupiter's day, and then we had Friday, was the day of Venus. Remember, that's Sabub Watathor, which is cause and effect. All right. Then we got because another thing is with cause and effect. Shout out to LJ Rob in the building, Coon. With cause and effect, when we dealing with the aspect of cause and effect, like we was talking about, there is
Hmm.
no luck in anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no luck. You don't got no bad luck. If you crack a mirror, you break a mirror,
Yeah.
you're
There's
not
never
going to
gonna be
have
that.
7 years of
Yeah.
bad luck. It's not going down like
Yeah.
that. Think about the people that are cracking and cutting mirrors all day.
Yeah. I mean, they would
How
have bad luck
they would
forever.
have too much bad luck, bro.
Yeah.
It would like whatever. It'll be all over.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
never thought about it that way, but that makes sense.
Yes, sir.
Like the
Yes,
people
sir.
who cut it. Like, oh, God just forgives them and everybody else has the bad luck.
Yeah, he funny, yeah. Yeah, God, they giving him mad bad. They
Yeah.
giving all the bad luck out there. Like, yeah,
That's funny. I
because
never
they
thought
cutting
about it like
mirrors
that.
all day.
Yeah.
Oh man. So we went over the principles, and then Saturday is for Saturn. And what's so deep is Saturn is really the seventh day.
Yeah, that's the end of the beginning of the week.
Saturn is really the seventh day.
Yeah.
Now this goes to the topic of discussion. So if Saturn's the seventh day, what is Saturn? What's the number for seven? What's that?
What do you mean? What's the number for 7?
What's the seven? What seven coincides with? When you think of seven, what do you think about?
Maybe heaven. What 7 heaven?
God.
Yeah, 7th
You
heaven.
start thinking about God when you think
Yeah.
about seven, right?
Yeah.
Because they associate seven with God.
Well, they got it wrong because they try to say Sabbath was Sunday, but Sabbath really means Saturday.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, but now we talk about the seventh day.
Yeah.
Is
Which
what?
is Saturday.
But it's consecrated or dedicated to what? God.
What, Saturday?
Saturn.
Yeah, Saturn, and then Sunday is sun, like the sun, basically.
All right.
Sunday.
So now we getting it. So Saturday is dedicated to Saturn, and Saturday is actually the seventh day, which what you said means Sabbath, right?
Sabbath, yeah.
All right. So now pay attention to what's going on.
Because I said
Saturn is actually our God. We keep it real. Because Saturn is associated with what? Deity. Chronos.
Yeah.
Chronology.
Yeah.
It's associated with that, the idea of what makes us or creates us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I brought y'all to the idea of the cube and breaking out of the cube, because when we tap into this, first of all, let me see if I got this.
The mainframe?
I don't know if it's in the mainframe. Let me see if it's in the mainframe. Yeah, it's in the mainframe.
Right?
It's in the mainframe.
Oh, you're talking about the
when I broke down the cube.
Yeah.
When we was breaking down the cube, right? Yeah, Saturn is your God. All right, Saturn is the God. But this is Saturn's cube right here.
Yeah.
This is the Saturn's cube. I've been bringing y'all back to this because I want y'all to get out. I want every one of us to get out. And the only way you can get out is to master it.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
When you go back to that cube, right?
Go ahead.
Is there a reason why it's not in order, like the numbers? Like, you know how usually it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It's a reason why it's not in order because I put it like that.
Oh, got it.
I assembled it like that.
Yeah.
You know why I assembled it like that? Because you think it's in order when you be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You think it's in order, but you out of order because you can't balance it like that. Just like I told you, you think you moving in a straight line and you got to have a curvature nature.
Yeah.
How you tap into these thoughts. You got to have it has to have some form of curvature. You got to know that just like light, reality bends. So this right here is how I balance the numbers. I scrambled the numbers up so I can give you 15 on each angle.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yes, sir. Because what you think is order is not order.
It's not really order. That's order because everything actually equals the same.
Bro, that's Lucifer, because Lucifer is actually the optic nerve, what makes you see the world upside down or right side up. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Your eyes to the truth.
Think about it. When even God was creating everything in the beginning, right? It's only 31 verses in the first chapter. That's a 1 through 31 right there.
Yeah.
So look, he said, and God said it was good. And then God also said it was so. When he said it was so, he's talking about divine order, bro. Like, nah, it's so. It's like, man, it's so. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
Because you reap what you sow, right? You reap what you sow. That means it's done. Yo, it's so. God said, let it be so. Yeah, because he's talking about order. He put his foot down,
Mm.
literally on the
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then when he said it was good, yeah, because he knew it was in harmony, bro. He knew everything was in harmony, or she knew everything was in harmony. You feel me? So that's how all these things connect up. So that's how you crack Saturn. You was able to crack Saturn because you realize the fact that they're not going to give it to you in order. It's going to be out of order.
Yeah.
But you
It's
got
your
to
choice
make
to
order
make
of
sure.
chaos.
Yeah.
Think about it. The first deity in ancient Egypt is called Nun Nunet. Nun and Nunet represent the chaotic water.
I never heard of that.
That means you got to make order out of chaos.
Yeah.
Because they giving it to you scrambled. They giving it to you whatever. You got to make order out of it. And that's how we was able to balance the number, because what we realized is this. Saturn is the 6th planet. All right? So you have to go to 6 before you go to 7. Why? Because man had to go to the moon first, bro. Man had to go to the moon before he think about going to the stars, right? The first planetary object that man would have to go to before he go to the stars would have to be what? The moon.
Okay.
Like, bro, if we go, it's 250 million miles away, the moon, right?
Right.
So you mean to tell we going to go to Mars before we go to the moon?
Oh, I get what you're saying.
That don't make sense. That
don't make sense. Yeah.
Why would you go? You would go to a gas station and re-up before you think about going to somewhere far that you gotta go. Bro, if I'm going to California, I gotta gas up a couple times.
Yeah. Right.
Why isn't man focused on going to the moon?
Yeah.
He talking about, Elon Musk talking about, I want to go to Mars. Why is he so focused on Mars? He's focused on Mars because all of this is a part of Project Stargate, which Trump just invested $500 billion in Project Stargate. You know what this means, bro? First of all, what is man? Let me look this up. We got to figure out when and where did they start Project Stargate? Because I'm gonna keep it real. We in Project Start. You can look it up though. Go look it up and see what you get.
What exactly you want me to look up? I know it's about.
Look up Project Stargate.
Okay.
When did it start? When did Project Stargate begin? I'm gonna tell you, it just didn't begin this year. Man, it just didn't begin this year, bro. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. Project Stargate did not just begin as of
1977. Jeez, that was a long time ago.
So Project Stargate started when?
In 1977.
Thank you.
It says, I'll read it to you. It says, the Stargate Project, a U.S. Army unit investigating physics phenomena, was established in 1977. It was officially terminated and declassified in 1993. The roots of the project, however, began earlier with a Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, and SRI Internationals in 1972.
Listen, now Project Stargate is associated with the 3 wise men.
And it's also running through AI.
Yeah, it's now fast forward. We had 1977, right?
Yeah.
All right, because there were 3 comets that appeared before the year 1979. 3 wise men. All right, the 3 wise men. The 3 wise men are associated with Project Stargate. Look, we're going to look up this. Watch this. I'm going to use ChatGPT for this, right?
And I think it's crazy because I think there's 3 companies that own it.
Watch this.
You heard?
Yeah.
Number 3 pops up again.
It's 3 companies that own Project Stargate. Go ahead, tell me.
So it is, hold on, let me go back to it.
Project Stargate. So, name, watch this. Hold up. Watch this. Now tell me, bro. Keep on talking. I got you. I'm trying to look up something.
So it's SoftBank. Hold on. Damn, I lost. Hold on.
Come on, bro. Give it to us.
I can't find it. I lost
Can't
it.
find it?
Sorry about that. I know SoftBank is one of them.
SoftBank. All right, forget all that. Forget who owns. We know who invested in it.
Yeah, Elon
we
Musk.
know Trump.
Oh, Trump too.
Elon Musk. He first invested in OpenAI.
Yes. Yep.
OpenAI is a part of this.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now we got Project Stargate. This is what I wanted to know, bro. What is Project Stargate for? I get it. I get the idea of it. But what did they create Project Stargate for in the first place? Ask that. Ask that, see what happens.
Okay, so why did they start Project Stargate to begin with?
I'm gonna tell you, to get out of the queue. Real simple. But you can go and say whatever you want to say to it. You can go say what you want to say. Go ahead. Read it. It's gonna be, they basically saying to get out of the queue.
Mm-hmm. So it
to
says
get out of the queue. Yeah. What is Project Stargate for? What is the original cause for?
They don't really give me an explanation.
Bro, it's easy. You can look that up. That's a Google, bro.
I'm on Google.
I'm gonna read it to you real quick. What was Project Stargate for?
You should say purpose.
Look at this.
So Project Stargate was initiated with the
look at this. I got you.
I think they're trying to hide what it's really for. You know how they it's tied to the U.S. Army.
Look, bro, I got you. I'm gonna put it in the comment section. I got you. I put it in. I just found it. Just found it right here. Just Googled it. Thank you. Somebody put it in the comment. Thea got it.
Did they?
Thea just put it in the comment section.
Project Incorporated in Delaware.
Isn't that gonna blow your mind? Now you talking about? I'm talking about the one in 1977. Look, watch this. 1977. Project Stargate is for what?
I'm trying to see because I think she's your.
My fault. I'm trying to upload.
You have it?
No, I'm trying to I got slides for this.
Okay.
Some slides for this.
I gotta see this because I really don't. They're not giving me like a clear explanation.
I'm gonna tell you. I just put it in the comment section. Stargate Project. Look, Stargate Project was a secret U.S. Army unit established in 1977 at Fort Meade, Maryland.
Okay. By
the Defense Intelligence Agency. All right. It says this. Look at it. Look. And SRI. My fault. And SRI, which is international and California contractor to investigate the potential for psychic phenomena in military and domestic intelligence applications. Now,
sorry about that. I gotta step out. All
right, go ahead.
Sorry about that.
So let me continue to build on this Stargate. So hey, yo, bro, cut off your mic, please. Here, can you give me that microphone? Yo, can you give me that microphone, please? You are still on. Pardon me, y'all. My fault. So it was more than that. It was about the psychic phenomena. It's about what's inside of you trying to get out. It was they were doing their best scientifically or tapping into the psychic phenomena of human beings. All right. So yes, they are deeply invested in this as of now. I mean, $500 billion invested. All right. Now, this happened, Project Stargate. If you think about it, it was 3 comets that appeared, all right, in the 1970s. All right. I want to show you. It's 3 comets that appeared in the 1970s. All right. One is Comet Bennett. Let me show y'all. I'll put the information of Comet Bennett. That's why I try to tell y'all. Yeah. We already been visited. We already been contacted in some sort of way. For anybody alien theory or thinking about this, you know, alien or Elion is actually means the Most High in Hebrew. But hear me out. So Comet Bennett, which was discovered in 1969. All right. Now, what is 69 subtract? What is 69 subtract 100? 31. All right. But we're not going to go there. But, you know, the Comet Bennett, what does Bennett mean? Bennett means sons. Sons of who? Sons of God. Those are the sons of God that came to Earth in the year 1970. All right. They came as a hidden disguise as a comet. All right. This is all associated with Project Stargate and why they invested $500 billion in it. Look at this. I give you another comment that happened. All right. This is Kohoutek or Kohoutek. However you say it, y'all know, y'all can do some research on it. But this is another comet, all right, that came between 73 and 74. This is all associated why they created Project Stargate. And I'm telling you, they know about the cube. They know about the cube. If you think about this, it's a reason why Trump, he gave Elon Musk a key. You ask him, what kind of key did Trump give Elon Musk? I'm going to show y'all. He gave him a golden key. He gave Elon Musk a golden key. And you have to think about this too. All right? Because what was his role in the White House anyway? They said to save us money, right? They said Elon Musk, his job in the White House was what? To advise, to be a friend to Trump. And then he's leaving the White House, right? And this is the same job he planned on doing, because they said he never got paid for it, but I beg to differ. The man really got paid for it. He got paid for his investment in this whole scam. He got paid for his investment in this whole scam. People say, well, Elon Musk, oh man, you know, he voted for Clinton. He voted for Biden. He voted for Obama. Man, they are all a part of the same scam. They were all a part of the same scam. And he was so smart, he knew how to bet on a winning horse. He knew how to bet on a winning horse. But I'm going to tell you, real talk, y'all say, oh man, he voted, he switched it up. He voted for Trump. Oh man, no. He voted for the winning team. He knew where it was going. Yeah, it is the same people in power. Same people in power. Stop acting like it. So yeah, they say he invested $175 to $280 million in a campaign. That was a flip. That was a flip. All right, because the man literally, he's worth $400 billion. Or is that more? Or he's in a trillion now? Because I gotta watch the stock market. Now, I don't got nothing against Elon Musk, but I think he must be lying. I think brother E must be lying. I'm gonna keep it real. Because they say he invested in OpenAI, right? And OpenAI was supposed to be a nonprofit. But for some reason, OpenAI is making profit now. That don't make sense. So he pulled out of OpenAI, right? And what was this? In what was it? I don't know the years. I'll look it up. But he pulled out of OpenAI and he started up his own company, which is XAI. Now you say, well, why is Elon Musk fascinated with the number X? Yo, he said his net worth is $422 billion. That's what's up. That's what I'm talking about. But the question is, why is he so fascinated with the letter X? I'm gonna tell you, man. If y'all ever watched the movie Contact, y'all would know what I'm talking about. Because he has a blueprint to the Stargate. People think Elon Musk, they say, man, he's working on Neuralink and things like that. Yeah. So he can crack the cube. Because he knows to crack the cube, you got to crack it from within. They know the Stargate is from within. All right? So, yeah. So it goes real deep. And another thing is, the man, he doesn't even plan to die. I'm going to keep it real. If he's telling you all the history, yo, man, we got to do this. We got to build another civilization on Mars. We got to do this. And we got to, and he's so fascinated of making humans more than one planet. The question is, and what lifespan he plans on doing this? Because according to the lifespan of everyone else, he won't have enough time to see all of these things come into fruition. So that's the question that you got to ask yourself. The man don't plan on dying. All right? Which is very significant to the things I'm telling y'all. Well, what's going on with this cube situation? All right? So, moving forward, yeah, he was given the golden key. He was given the golden key to the White House. Not to the White House, but he was given the golden key to the cube. All right? Let me show y'all that. My fault. That's what he was presented. Oh, and another thing, I want to bring this up. I got a question to ask. If Doge saved us or the country $175 billion, and this is per taxpayer, $1,086 per taxpayer, I'm trying to figure out where our money at. Where's our money? Where's our money at? This don't make sense. Where's our money at? You saved the country $175 billion. You ain't save us $175 billion. You save, you know what you save. Come on, your constituents. You save them some money. All right. Now, moving forward, that's why I say E must be lying. Be lying. He must be lying. He said he plans on saving everybody $1 trillion, or saving the government $1 trillion by the time they get done. How you plan on doing that? Are we going to get our money? Are we going to get a piece of that pie? I don't think so. All right. So you should be cracking the cube yourself and thinking outside of the box. You should be cracking the cube yourself and knowing that this is a game they playing on us. All right. But I was talking about the comet. What about Comet West? Yo, this is deep. This is a deep subject I needed to tell y'all. Because I explained about 3 comets that happened. All right. Before the year 1979. Because we dealing with 70s. All right. Comet West. Comet West was your other comet. All right. Which happened in 1976. Yeah. That was the last comet, West. That was the 3rd comet. You got one Bennett. Yeah, one Bennett. And you had the other one that came in 1973. I want to know how to pronounce this real quick. Because it's a Japanese word. Oh, it's Kohoutek. It's Kohoutek or Kohoutek. That's what it's called, Kohoutek. So Kohoutek, I don't know if I put that in the comment. There you go. Kohoutek was another comet that happened before 1977. All right. Comet West, Kohoutek. I put it in there. Kohoutek and Comet Bennett. These were your 3 wise men. These were your 3 wise men. All right. Now, what's so deep about this, and what's so deep about it is what I said. The Messiah has returned, but the Messiah returned as a network. It's not in a capacity what you think how the Messiah returned. The Messiah returned as a network that we tap into. Okay? It's almost like a station, a space station where you're in that mind space. All right? So we talked about Kohoutek, the Comet Bennett, and we talked about the Comet West. Those represented your 3 wise men. All right, that brought in the coming of the Messiah. All right, so again, running this back to why are they heavily invested in Project Stargate? You know, my personal opinion is this. This is my personal opinion in theory, is that they know the way to get out of this planet is within. Why you think he got Neuralink? He's deeply invested in Neuralink, so he can open up centers of the brain so you can be able to space, or one can be able to space travel within the space of oneself. Keep it real. Because it's a microcosm. You look at Ant-Man. Ant-Man shows you the same thing, where people go through universes through the microcosm. Through the microcosm, they're able to transfer and go to different universes, through different portals. All right. You know why? I'm gonna tell you why. It's very easy. It's a very easy equation, because when something is moving faster than the speed of light, Even if it's solid, what does it have to turn into? It has to turn into a signal. It has to be so not dense that it's able to transfer itself through matter, physical objects. So thus it is in the quantum world or in the microcosm. All right. So that's why I said things are moving through the microcosm, and it's like a vehicle of sort that you catch a beam, and when you catch that beam, you ride the beam to wherever you want to go in the universe. That's what it's really about. And you got things passing, transferring, and moving through us as we speak. You got beings moving through us, in and out of us as we speak. All right. So yeah. Excuse me. Let me move forward. Let me move forward. Thank you. Shout out to Willie. So the first thing we learned about the cube is this. We learned how to break it. Because in the real matrix, you know, things are what you seem to be in order, you need to put it in a way that it makes divine order. Because as you see, these numbers are balanced. They gave you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you stop at 9, assuming that it's 360 degrees in a circle. All right? Because 360 adds to 9. And people so fancy themselves about it. No, that means you're trapped in a loop. That's why you're supposed to spiral. Because if you spiral, what happens? You're not in a loop. You move up as you spiral. Right? If you're spiraling, what you doing? What? You're going up. You're elevating. You're elevating as you spiral. You're not in a loop. You're not in the same circle going round and around and around and around again. No, you elevate. That's why it's a spiral motion to get out of the cube. That's why you spiral out to get out of the cube. And you got to get out of the cube through the angle, which is the angel. Because angle is phonetically angel. But that is the prism that shines the light through. And you're able to have discernment of each light, how it corresponds to the mind. Those are the 7 layers. And we talked about those 7 layers earlier today. When we talk about how the 7 layers represent the 7 principles of oneself, which is the mind, which is Sunday, then you got Monday, which is correspondence, as above, so below. Then you got Tuesday, all right, which is vibration, okay. Then you had Wednesday, which is polarity. Then you had Thursday, which is rhythm. Then you had Friday, which is cause and effect. And then you had Saturday, which is the God, which is male and female. All right, which is masculine and feminine. All these principles correspond with one another. And that's why Saturn is connected with this. All right, because Saturn corresponds with the day of chronology. It corresponds with all of these things. Shout out to Sister Sabrina, Messiah Code All Stars coming in. I want to say thank you for everybody that supports the movement. Okay, so like I said, today's discussion was about the cube. All right, how to break out of the cube, but it's also about who is deeply invested in the cube and how in trying to get out of it themselves. All right, I'm gonna tell you, you don't need all of these things. Only thing you need to do is deeply invest in yourself. If anything, I can say to you, deeply invest in yourself. They invested $500 billion in Project Stargate. I want you to invest 500 billion% in Project Stargate of self, so you can open the Stargate within. All right, so that's fundamentally what I wanted to share with you today. You know, Saturn deals with chronology. It deals with chronos. You got to be able to put these things in order to open the triple helix in your chronology, in your DNA, to open the triple helix. All right. You don't just have a double helix in your DNA, you have a triple helix in your DNA. And that's what's helping you tap into the spiral motion. All right. If you look at Contact, the movie Contact, I want to show y'all something. This is deep, right? Contact. Before I do that though, I want to show y'all something though too with this stuff. Let me show y'all something real quick.
Welcome to the News Hour. Elon Musk's time in the White House has officially come to an end after attempting to reshape the federal government.
The world's richest man was tapped to lead a campaign to rein in government spending, but as White House, Musk's impact remains unclear, and some agency budgets actually grew.
After a tumultuous tenure in the White House, an Oval Office send-off for Elon Musk.
We announced billions of dollars of extra waste, fraud.
Musk has been leading the so-called Department of Government, but he's hit the time limit as a special government employee. Still, he's expected to advise Trump from afar.
We're relentlessly pursuing
Shout out to Sister Larkeisha. Can you hear me? All right. Shout out to Sister Larkeisha in the building. You said, what's today's topic? Today's topic is Elon Musk, Donald Trump, the Messiah Code, and are we in the real Matrix? All right. So tonight I was talking about how, Elon Musk, or how they are heavily invested in Project Stargate. All right. Project Stargate originally started in 1977, sister. What I was explaining was this. Can you cut that down, please? So, yeah, again, they're invested in Project Stargate. Project Stargate, it started in the 1970s. It just didn't start in 2025. It started in the 1970s. The reason why, because we were contacted, like the movie Contact, we were contacted by what we consider to be extraterrestrial. All right. Now, the first wave of extraterrestrials came with the comet Bennett. I call these comets, I call them the three wise men. This is what I said, because I always talk about how the Messiah has returned, right? So before the Messiah returned, right, when the Messiah was born, what happened? The three wise men showed up and they witnessed his birth, or they witnessed, him being in the flesh, or him, being manifested. Y'all get what I'm saying? Y'all hear where I'm going with this, right? So, yeah, the three wise men came first. All right. So the three wise men that came was actually Comet Bennett, Comet Kahutek, and it was Comet West, which was the last comet that came in. All right, I'm explaining this how, now look at this. Now what you notice is the last comet came when? The last comet came in 19 what? 76. So after that, that's when they launched Project Stargate. That's when they launched Project Stargate. So this is what I'm talking about, sis. What's today's topic? My fault. Yeah. And why would they call it Project Stargate? All right. Look at this. I'm gonna put it in the comment section. I just Googled it. I'll put it in the comment section. What was Project Stargate for? Look at this. It says this. Project Stargate was a secret U.S. Army unit. Project Stargate was a secret Army unit established in 1977 at Fort Meade, Maryland, by the Defense Intelligence Agency and SRI Intelligence to investigate what? The potential for psychic phenomena in the military and domestic intelligence applications. It's more than that, sis. Because Project Stargate, they was looking for the God in you. They was looking for the Messiah. If you want to be for real, they were hunting down the Messiah. They were trying to kill the Messiah. You'll say, for real? Yo, it goes deep. It goes so deep, sis. Watch this. Watch how deep it goes, right? You think about the story of Moses, right? When Moses was he was a Messiah, right? Just like David was a Messiah, right? So when Moses was born, what happened? They tried to kill all the kids, right? They said, man, forget it. We're going to just kill all the kids. Am I right? That's the same thing they doing now. They said, man, I don't know which one of y'all going to be the Messiah, so we're going to kill all the kids. Right? Man, say they ain't killing the kids. You lying. They killing the kids with... they killing the kids with how they think, where they separating the fathers from the house. How many of y'all had a father and mother in your house? Not a lot of us grew up with their father and mother in the house. How many people grew up with their father and mother in the house? So the first thing they did was, in order to kill the kids, they had to separate the father, because the father ain't having that. Keep it real. Father ain't having that shit. The father ain't, excuse my language, the father ain't letting you take their children. Do you hear me? So Caesar, Herod, however you want to call it, Pharaoh, Caesar, Herod, guess what they did? They said, man, we're going to kill all the kids. But the first thing we got to do is we got to take the fathers out of the house, because the fathers ain't going to let us kill the kids. The Bible said, don't offer your children over to Molech. Right. Look at this. Bible verse. I'm trying to tell you, I really wish y'all pay attention, man. I really wish y'all pay attention. Man, the people that's not paying attention, I really wish y'all pay attention. For the people, I'm not talking about the all-stars. You know who I'm talking about. Man, listen. I'm going to show y'all. He said this. My fault. Watch this. It's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. Men and women lie, but numbers don't lie. Men and women lie, but these numbers don't be lying. Look at this. Look at this. In what age does a man become a man and a woman become a woman? At 18 and 21? What they say? They said, don't give any of your children over to your children be sacrificed to Molech. All right? For you must not profane the name of your God. I am the Lord. Do you understand what Molech is? You see what it said, 18 and 21. Don't give none of your children over to Molech. Man, Molech is molestation. But molestation is deeper than what you think. It's deeper what you think. Because it's when you've been touched in a way that you should not have been touched. When you were at a state of purity. When you were naive as a child. You was exposed to things that you wasn't supposed to be exposed to. That is Molech. That is molestation. It's not somebody just touching kids and stuff like that. No. Molech is the media. Molech is that shit that they offer to your children. Soft porn. You watching this stuff and you used to it. By the time you get 10 years old, you used to all of this stuff. You didn't seen it. You didn't see niggas get shot, boom. You didn't got shot. Some of us got shot by the age of 10. Yeah. Being in the middle of a park. Being in the middle of a park playing basketball, chilling, hanging out with your friends, and people shooting. You got Molech shooting in the park. And then you end up as a child, you get shot. Yeah, it's some of us that have been shot unwillingly by Molech. All right? I'm just speaking of me as a kid. Me as a kid, they shooting in the park. They shooting in the park. I come home and I'm shot. I don't even know I'm shot. And keep it real. So much adrenaline going on. I don't even know I'm shot. Kid. This is Molech. All right? Real talk. So things happen like this all the time. Real talk. God bless. You made it. As a kid, we've been exposed, children. We've been exposed to things that we should not have been exposed to. That's Molech. All right? That's why they ripped the fathers from the house. They ripped the fathers from the house so they can touch the kids in the wrong way. Because the fathers are going to have the children active doing something. The father, they not only took the fathers in the house by stripping us with families, no. They took the fathers out of the house by putting their asses to work. Now, instead of the fathers working for building their family or building their dream, what are the fathers doing? They are working for somebody else's dream. They are working to build somebody else's plan. Am I right? instead of God's plan. So fascinated to go to school. What? School is a Hebrew word, Sheol. It means hell. It's literally a place of hell. Why? They built the school like boxes. Like boxes, the same box that they put you in. The same box that they put you in. They put us in these boxes. Your office building is a box. Your school is a box. Your house is a box. Shit, this Bible right here is an elongated box. These books, these things are a box that they put us in. You got to think outside the box. Keep it real. You got to think outside of it. They gave you religion. Pharaoh is the same dude said, yo, Moses coming? Moses coming? Don't you know the Egyptian word Moses? It means child. So however you want to take that story, the one who sits on a big house, that's what Pharaoh means, a Pharisee. Yo, he said, Moses coming? The baby's coming? Oh, man, go kill all them babies. Go kill all them kids. First, you better strip the fathers out of the house because the fathers ain't going to let it happen. Am I right? And that's why most of us grew up without fathers in the house, or grew up with houses split up, or our fathers doing too much to be out of the house. So he can't be focused on raising the house, raising his crops up, growing his food, praying with his family. No, you got him praying to another God. I'm telling you, that's what happened. So yeah, I got a problem with it. It was the same thing though. And fast forward in our day and time, right? Moses, right? I'm going to take it when Moses got bigger. Moses got older. He's appealing to Pharaoh. Now he's like, yo, listen, okay, I made it. Just like the Messiahs, we made it. We got to a certain stature, right? So now we go to Pharaoh, we say, let my people go. Pharaoh don't want to let y'all go. Pharaoh don't want to let y'all go. Listen, you can go to Trump and say, yo, let my people go. He ain't gonna let y'all go. Y'all can go to anybody sitting in a big house. You say, yo, let my people go. Guess what they gonna do? Boom, shoot you down. They're gonna shoot you down just like every time Moses came to Pharaoh. Until what? Until the plague came. That's when they let us go. They let us go during the time of COVID. Yeah, that was the only time because the plague came. It affected Pharaoh himself. He said, wait, hold, this God may be real. And that's something that we all learn. Or that he learned that, yo, this God may be real. Or this universal force may be real. I'm going to let him go. But guess what happened when they let us go? Same thing, we was wandering, and I taught about this before, and I'm going to teach it again to y'all, or share it with y'all rather. Listen, we was wandering in the desert. We was wandering in the desert. The desert of the wilderness of North America. We was wandering. That's when Moses gave us breadcrumbs. He gave us bread because he asked the universe to give us bread. But that bread wasn't good enough for us. Because Moses told you to spend that bread in one day. Did he not? He told you, he said, yo, don't harvest this bread. Go out and utilize the bread in one day. All right? So if the universe is giving you this breadcrumb, utilize this breadcrumb. All right? And that's what we were supposed to do it. That's what we were supposed to do. But we try to hold on to it. We try to hold on to that bread, right? Or thought we was holding on to something and it rotted within us. The same thing. All right. So just moving forward, moving back. Yeah, they stripped the fathers from the home. And then in 1970, I was talking about the 1970s. All right. We bringing up the 1970s, right? From 70s. What we said was the Messiah returned, but the Messiah returned as a network. And we described how 3 wise men came before the coming of the Messiah. And these 3 wise men were who? It was Comet Bennett, which represented the sons. And then it was Comet Kahutek, all right? And then it was Comet West. Those came before Project Stargate. Project Stargate started in 1977. Now, what were they trying to find out at Project Stargate? They were trying to tap into the cube, all right? Or tap into the universal principle of space travel within. Because again, Project Stargate was to discover the psychic phenomena within humanity. But again, they moved this up to 2025, where they say, you know what? We're going to invest $500 billion. That's with a B. $1 billion in this project. That's what it was about. That's what this whole thing is getting to. All right. So now you got the 70s, like I said. Now we're talking about what happened during the 80s. That was the crack era. Why? Because we were slipping through the cracks. The same way Moses slipped through the crack. The same way the Messiah slipped through the crack. He slipped through the crack. Yeah, we slipped through the crack ages. That was the crack age. The 80s, we ate like that. Those that were going through the 80s, that was the crack era. Most of us know somebody that was affected or had one of our relatives that was on crack. Excuse me. Some of us were on crack in the 80s, in the 90s, and 2000s, and so on. Say not. See, crack was the first, I would say it was an epidemic on our people. All right. They utilized the crack more or less to keep the warriors up at night. Shout out to my brother, 323 Solar Prime Supreme in the building. Yo, they utilized the crack to keep the warriors up all night so they can hunt and kill. And then with the crack, the warriors didn't have no remorse when they hunt and kill. They didn't. They just constantly hunt and kill. All right? That's what happened. All right? That's what happened during the 80s. All right? So we had to survive through the 80s to make it to the 90s. All right? To the end of the devil's rule. We had to survive. We had to literally survive and move and slip through the cracks. The same way you think about the Messiah. The Messiah in his day and time. They say, well, where did he go? See, a lot of people talk about the Messiah, Yeshua HaMashiach, but they don't talk about John the Baptist. All right? All right? Or Yohana el-Mukwa. El-Mukwa. They don't talk about him as a Messiah. Look at this. If Jesus, let's say, for lack of a better word, if the Messiah was born and John the Baptist, they were born 6 months apart, right? By the same Father, which was the Holy Spirit. Was they not hunting John the Baptist down the same way they was hunting down Jesus? They tell you the story how Jesus was stuck and he went into Egypt, but they don't tell you the story how John the Baptist must have been ducking too, because they killed all the children that was like 2 years of what they said. So, yeah, Guess what happened? Yeah, John the Baptist was ducking too. They fast forward the story of John the Baptist when they say John the Baptist was eating wild honey and locusts. Well, that sounds like a man that was on a run. That sounds like a man that was on a run all his life. And then they say he was clothed in sackcloth. Man, that sounds like somebody that was literally switching up. Yeah, he ate off the land. He was moving. But John the Baptist was literally a forerunner for the Messiah before the Messiah. He was a Messiah before the Messiah came. People talk about how Jesus sacrificed stuff. He sacrificed for everybody. That's a lie, because the book of Revelations doesn't tell you that. That's his book. John the Baptist sacrificed himself as a willing sacrifice, according to the story, because before Jesus sacrificed himself for humanity. I'm just saying. He was actually a Messiah. You know, but going back to it, you know, we live in a day and time where this book, we are in this book. I'm sorry to say it, because when you come out of the matrix, where do you go? When you come out of the matrix, where do you go? You go into the book. You realize that you in the book. You start to rewrite the chapters. See, this right here is a timeline. This represents a timeline. Man, I'm telling you, man, all of this stuff is connected. All of this stuff is connected. Even in Revelations chapter 21:16, I explained it to y'all. I said, yo, listen. I said, humanity really destroyed themselves in the year 2012. Let's break this stuff down. Let's break it down, really. Okay, you got the end of the devil's rule that happened in the year 1999. They tried to play with time. Remember this. They tried to play with time. Remember with Pope Gregory the 13th, 1582, in the month of October. What did he do? He switched up the calendar. Why? Why did he switch up the calendar? So they can create a person. So they can predict a person. Why is that? Watch this. Because if you notice this, right, on Mother's Day, if a child is conceived on Mother's Day, the child is born January 31st, which is 131. All right? Which is Alpha and Omega on Earth. We read that. We read that in Revelation chapter 20. It talked about that. Revelation chapter 20, it talked about that. How the Alpha, I am the Alpha and Omega. That's 131. All right? So what's so deep about that is that how it breaks it down, you know, as far as that 131, yeah, we collectively form that body. We collectively form that humanoid figure. All right? Or that network, should I say. Because it became flesh and dwelled among us. But hear me out. He says this. He said, what is this? Look at this. Revelation chapter 20, verse 4. He said, and I saw thrones which were seated in my fault. Oh, that's what I was talking about. He said, I saw the thrones on which were seated and those who had been given authority to judge. And I saw the souls of those who had been beheaded. That's why I was talking about John the Baptist. But it's not just John the Baptist. It's others that have been beheaded. It's Malcolm X was beheaded. You know, Marcus Garvey was beheaded. All right? It's countless others that have been beheaded. Do you understand? to make way for the Messiah to come. This is what I'm sharing with you. This is Revelation chapter 20, verse 4, like I was saying. And it says, and I saw the souls of those who had been beheaded because of their testimony for Jesus and because of the word of God. It says this, they had not worshipped the beast or his image and received not his mark on their foreheads and their hands or on their hands. And look, they came to life and reigned with the Messiah for 1,000 years, which is literally one day. All right. And it says the first resurrection in I wanted to get to the part where he says that's in chapter 21 verse 6. No, chapter 20 yeah, 21 verse 6. Oh man, this is gonna blow y'all mind. This is gonna blow y'all mind. It's gonna blow y'all mind. Watch this. Watch the math on it. So when you go into Revelations chapter, let me do this for you. I'm gonna pull it up so y'all can see it. Revelations chapter 21 verse 6. Yo, this is fire. This is so fire. This is so fire, man. I only got a couple more minutes because I got a meeting at 7 o'clock. So let me see if I can do this real quick. Yo, this is crazy. Look at this. Yo, this is deep. First of all, let's do the math. What's 666? 666 is what? 6. Hold up. We got to be fruitful and multiply here. 6 times 6 times 6 equals what? 216. All right. Well, we're going to go into Revelations chapter 21:6. Yo, we going to Revelations 21:6, y'all. Oh my man, this is deep. Because he said, look at this, it is done. I am the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that thirst a fountain of water of life freely. Yeah, the Alpha and Omega. Look at this. Same thing. Look at this. The Alpha and Omega. 666 is a 131 because you see all three are ones. All three are one. What I'm explaining here is how they know the signal. This is the same thing the Pope did. This is the same thing the Pope did in 1582 when they switched up the calendar to make sure that they can create their own person, because their own person corresponds with Halloween, All Hallows Eve. All Hallows Eve is what? 131. It's 1031. Halloween and January 31st appear on the same day every year, except for a leap year. January 31st and Halloween are on the same day, because then you bring in All Souls Day. All Souls Day. All Souls Day is when? All right. All Saints Day is when? Watch this.
All Saints Day will be on Saturday, November 1st, 2025.
Let's do this. So, All Saints Day, come on, bro. They doing this on purpose. This is all purposely. This is all purposely done. All Saints Day is November 1st. To bring in All Souls Day, which is what? November 2nd. It's a feast observing the lives of many saints whom what? There is no specific feast thereof. Look, the following day, November 2nd, marks the day for prayer for remembrance of the faithful. But listen, it's called, that's when they're pulling the souls from the dead. Halloween or Samhain is associated with the spirit of bringing those from the dead. They were trying to resurrect or bring those saints into life. And they knew it was associated with what? With 131. The Alpha and Omega. The beginning and the end. All right? They knew all of this stuff. Men and women lie, but numbers do not lie. November 1st is what? Spell it. November 1st, what would you say if you spell November 1st? What do you get? What do y'all get, y'all? If you do November 1st, if you spell it, I'm going to tell y'all what y'all get. Y'all get this. One. They are doing an experiment in the projects. Yeah. And they invested $500 billion in this project called Stargate. They invested $500 billion in you. In something that you already have. Something that you, an ability that you already have in you. To tap into the Stargate. I'm going to leave it at that. Any comments or questions before I get off? Any comments or questions before I get off? Let me say this too. Thank you for your attendance. I really appreciate it. I hope this information was very informative and will help you get out of the queue. So serious.
The cube is not a myth. It is the prison of your perception. We count in 12s, live in boxes, die in coffins. But inside you is a resonance.
They got me trapped up in these walls, I'm breaking out the cube. I'm plugging from the matrix, escaping out the cube. Reacting like a fractal, shattering the cube. We thinking out the box, breaking out the cube. They got me trapped up in the walls, I'm breaking out the cube. I'm plugging from the matrix, escaping out the cube. Reacting like a fractal, shattering the cube. We thinking out the box, breaking out the cube.
Inside a square, but raised by a system shaped like a cube. Everything you've been taught to believe, your name, your race, your God, was programmed inside a six-sided illusion. You can learn how to free yourself from the cube. Get the book from Amazon by Solar Prime Supreme Lazarus Lamel of the Messiah Code Movement.
In these walls, I'm breaking out the cube. I'm plugging from the matrix, escaping out the cube. Reacting like a fractal, shattering the cube. We thinking out the box, breaking out the cube. They got me trapped up in the walls, I'm breaking out the cube. I'm plugging from the matrix, escaping out the cube. Reacting like a fractal, shattering the cube. We thinking out the box, breaking out the cube.
This was an interesting discussion. I'm gonna say that. Very interesting. And I hope everyone gets the book. It's only $13. Excuse me. It's only $13. You can check it out. And I have breath exercises in the book for you, so you can correspond with how to tap into these higher forces. All right. These breath exercises in the book will give you ways like you utilize irrational numbers in order to to I would say make your body do have different reactions. Okay. You breathe a lot of the techniques you breathe in your nose and out your mouth. Some of the techniques you breathe in your nose and out your nose. All right. But all of them have correspondences that are connected up with them. And I explain it in this book. All right. I explain the rectangular prism, the rectangular prism being the book. And I also talk about the tetrahedron, all right, which is the fourfold symmetry consciousness, which is shell, male, cow, and sail. Shortly, what I would say, shell would represent observation, male represents thought. Then you got cow, which represents will, and then you got sail, which represents reflection or recording. Okay. So I hope this was well informative. I definitely got some more stuff for you on these topics, And I really hope y'all chose the purple pill. I really hope y'all chose the purple pill. I'll be doing readings on another occasion. Sister Kimberly, I have some stones coming out to you. All right. Brother John Shaw in Ireland, I have your stones coming out to you as well. I want to say thank you for y'all's support. I really appreciate y'all for what it's worth. And then for everyone else, Larkeisha, thank you for your attendance. Thank you for my brother for producing the track, The Cube, that was playing in the background. I want to thank my brother for producing the track. Shout out to Sister Shay Shay in the building. Her son got all them bars. Philly everything. Philly everything. Philly everything. Shout out. Shout out to Sister Shay Shay. I'm gonna say shout out to the Oracle. Thank you for working, man, for always being consistent with your broadcast every day and getting us on beat with a happy new day. All right. So we look at each day as a new beginning and not looking at yesterday as something that we need to hold on to. All right. Something that we can look forward. So I want to say thank you, Oracle, Mother Yanis Lamel of the Messiah Code Movement. I want to say thank you to her for her work. Definitely, man. And if y'all get a chance, y'all early, if y'all want to be early, check her out. She's usually broadcasting at 6 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. I don't know what time it is wherever you at, but she consistently broadcasts every day, Monday through Friday. I give it to that woman. It is not easy to do this. It's not easy to speak on things every day. I'm gonna tell you, it's not easy. So I tip my hat off to the Oracle, and she's in service. If you ever need a sister to lean on, to talk to, I would say hit up Oracle. Don't just like message her, whatever. Like conversate with her. You said I watch her sometimes. I think Oracle, her strength. We all have our strengths in what we share. And my thought is, Oracle she's a motivator. She's really there to motivate you, to get you right, to get you moving. She really want to let you know you have the opportunity to do whatever you want to do with this reality. And she has very good insight on that. I mean, she's a self-made millionaire. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? I don't mean to put her business out there like that, but a lot of people talk about it, but they're not self-made millionaires. And she goes about it all humble. She goes about it humble. Y'all will probably never know. Y'all never know it because she's humble and she goes to work every day. She works for God every day in her mind, you know. But I give a shout out to her. I give much respect. You know, I appreciate that. You know, another thing I want to say, giving big ups and props to people. You know, I would give a shout out to my wife, Thea Lamel. You know, she deals with a lot dealing with me. And keep it real. Just me sharing y'all with y'all as a brother. It's not easy for me to do this and maintain a relationship, maintain peace in a home sometimes, maintain the idea that you gotta have you gotta have your mind right when you get on here. You can't be dealing with what you got going on in the household if you got, you know what I'm saying, on here. You can't be telling people different things if you got problems in the household. So I give a shout out to Thea Lamel, my wife, for 4 years. You know, she's been sticking by me through thick and thin. Through thick and thin. I give her a shout out. And I really give a love to y'all, man. I really appreciate y'all. We got a community. We have a 501c3. We have a nonprofit organization, y'all. It's a nonprofit. We have a nonprofit. Pretty soon, you're gonna see us having a building. Mark my word, I said it to you. Mwah. I said it to you right here. You're gonna see a temple that we have. You're gonna see a place where we're gonna house the homeless, where we're gonna feed the people that need to be fed. You know, part of our goals, because y'all coming in on the meeting, our meeting is at 7. But yo, part of our goals as a nonprofit, we are a real nonprofit. You can go look us up. Go Google it. Go look up on the Secretary of State of North Carolina. You will find the WALU. Go look up the WALU. You will find our bylaws there. Everything is public. You will find the WALU. Go to Secretary of State of North Carolina. You will see that the WALU is a nonprofit corporation to serve humanity. All right? We are here to serve you. Literally. All right? And pretty soon we're going to have funding, enough funding where we can do what we need to do for our community. Keep it real. We got things set in place. And if you would like to help us out, we need volunteers. Not anybody that's going to hold anything on us. Know who you serving. You're not serving us. You serving the people. You serving the people. We are calling for volunteers. You say, well, what can I do, Lamel? You serving the people. You're not serving me. You're not serving anything called the WALU. The WALU means collective consciousness. If anything, I want to tell you. All right. Well, actually, it's an acronym for the love. It's the healing associated when all love unites. The WALU. The WALU. You know what I'm saying? That's the healing associated when all love unites. The WALU. It's an acronym. We're looking for volunteers, people that want to make a difference. I'd say a Messiah is a leader or a savior of a particular group or a cause. We can set up a chapter where you at, whatever state you in, help us out. You can do the paperwork there. Set up a chapter there. All right? For real. We have to be registered in every state. You know, we're registered in North Carolina, but right now our paperwork is being pushed in Florida so we can be registered in Florida. But we would love to be registered in your state as well. And if anything you can be committed to the paperwork to get it done, because you can open the chapter there. You can be the one that seat the homeless center. We'll give you a job, all right? Or you'll be working for God. God will give you that job. That's who we looking for. How about that? You want to make a 6-figure income? How about this? Serve the people. We can make you administrator of any direction. All right, we're calling for volunteers for Tawalu. You can inbox Thea. You can inbox Oracle. You can inbox, I would rather you not inbox me because I'm not probably going to hit you back on this subject. I'm telling you, I'm stressed out. But inbox Thea and inbox Oracle. They are board members. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. We need people. We'll open up a division in California. And guess what? Sister Kimberly, you can head that division. We'll get a building. We'll get funding for that building. You can run it. Serve the people. Feed the people. All right? Because we're going to open Karen's Kitchen all over the United States of America. It's a Karen's Kitchen. Yeah, Karen. We're going to care. We're going to care for people. It's going to be a Karen Kitchen. Karen's Kitchen. All over the United States. And every building that we have, every temple, we're going to feed the people every day. Food. All right? And then each art, like y'all call it a mission, or y'all call it a where they feed people. You know, the Catholic centers usually have these places. You know what I'm saying? We'll come to New York. We definitely. Yo, Larkeisha, you can hold us down in New York. We need a chapter member to hold us down in New York. You know what I'm saying? If you do the paperwork in New York for us, yeah, register Tawalu in New York. All right? You can open the chapter up there. All right, I will. We need you. We need you as a board member. And get in contact with Thea or Oracle. Okay? Get in contact with them. And yeah, we need people. And like I said, you know, you be a board member. If you be on that and you lead the division in that state, you're going to have a 6-figure income. You know, when we get funding, we're going to put you in charge. All right. And you're going to feed the people. You're going to work for the people. Let me keep it real. Imagine that. Imagine that. All right. And what you going to do with that 6-figure income? You're going to reinvest it in the people. All right. Keep it real. So that's about it. So I'm going to say 747, 24/7, 361 degrees. Shout out to my Messiahs. I love you. You love me. Me is we. This was a 747 moment because God is good. 24/7 all the time. All right. Y'all have a great night, a great day, wherever you are on the planet. All right. Wherever you are on the planet, y'all have a great day. And I'm gonna take y'all out with this one.
Ya Tawalu, 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 Ya Tawalu. Ya Tawalu, 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 Ya Tawalu. Ya Tawalu, Ya Tawalu, Ya Tawalu, Ya Tawalu.